we're going to go back to having some fun in just a little bit, but I think one of the things that you, I hope, like about the show is we mix some fun with some honesty, and I share as much of my life with you as I can. And this is one of those times where we're going to take a slight detour so I can tell you a little something, and I promise we'll get back to the fun. And it's one of those times also that I'm going to try to get through something without crying. Over the weekend, we lost our French Bulldog, Mr. Big. And if you've been with the Jason Show since the beginning, you know that Big basically grew up with the show. We got Mr. Big when the show debuted, and he came to visit us on the set right when it debuted, and he's been with us ever since. Big died on Friday, and it was a shock to us. We had no idea that Big had aggressive cancer. We came back from Hawaii, and we noticed that he was acting a little weird. But Big has gone through this before. Oh, there he is on the set. Big had gone through this before a couple times where Big had lost a little weight, and then my fat little sausage would grow it back, and it was never an issue. Big was always like that, so we didn't think anything of it. My mother-in-law watched him and said, "Oh, he's a little slow." Well, Big was almost 9, so we also chucked it up to age. Frenchies sometimes live to only be 10 or 11. We were here, Fallon and Colin and I were here. We were shooting a segment that you'll see soon. And I woke up that morning, this was on Friday, and I woke up on Friday morning, or let me reverse a little bit. On Thursday night, Colin and I sleep separately, and the boys sleep in our room. And I sleep alone in my room, just because of my schedule. Thursday night, something told me to sleep with Biggie. And I looked at Colin and I said, because of our puppy Milo, Biggie has been kind of forgotten at times because you have to focus on the new dog. I said, so, you know, Colin, I'm going to have Biggie sleep with me. And I took Biggie in, and as we were laying there, I did kind of brush my hand over his, you saw that picture, he always was attached to you. And I brushed over his back, and I could feel that he had lost a little weight. But again, I didn't think anything of it. And we woke up that morning, and I woke up that morning, and Biggie had made a mess on the floor. And again, not unusual, but I was like, oh. So I went about the day. We came here to do set stuff, record a segment. Colin came here. And by the time Colin had come back, Mr. Big had gotten sick 4 times. So Colin took him to our vet, Dr. Michelle from Modern Vet in Minneapolis, who was just an angel from heaven. And Colin took him to the vet, and I was leaving Fox, and I got a phone call, and Colin said, she's concerned. And I'm like, what? Because I just thought, oh, he's dehydrated. Oh, he's just, maybe Mr. Big loved to eat tennis balls. So I thought maybe he had something lodged. And I'm like, oh, the worst case, they'll do a little surgery, get the tennis ball out of his belly, and we'll go about our life. But Dr. Michelle looked at Colin and said, if I could drive you myself, I would. You need to get to an emergency vet. He may not make it through the night. And as you can imagine, Colin was gobsmacked and called me and said, I need you to get here immediately and pick us up. So we went to emergency vet clinic around here called Blue Pearl. We walked in and they took Biggie, and we gave him permission to do an ultrasound. And the vet came in as the ultrasound was going on and said, it could be cancer, and if it's the spleen or something, we could probably work around it, but there's no guarantee. And they did the ultrasound and came back, and she walked in, and I actually appreciated her blunt honesty. She walked in the room and she just says, I have terrible news. She said, it's everywhere. And I said, okay. So we went in their room, comfort room, and said goodbye to him. And I'm standing there like I just went through this. We just lost Dexter, our boxer, several months ago. Thank you. And I looked at the doctor, I go, I just went through this. And she said, I know. And she watches the show, which I don't know if that made it worse or better. So she left, and we said goodbye to Biggie, and I just said, hey, you know, go say hi to Dex. Biggie never knew a life without Dexter, his big brother, and now they're together. And that's about the only positive thing I can take from this. I'll tell you, I'm really sick of the damn Rainbow Bridge. You can laugh at that, yeah. I want to burn it down. I'm sick of visiting it. I don't want to see it anymore. And that was it. And I said goodbye to him, and Colin and I kissed him on his head, and the doctor had the stethoscope and looked at us and said, he's gone. It was so weird, everybody. In 2 hours, I had a dog, and then I walked in with the dog, and then I walked out with no dog. And it's just, if you've been through this, you know what I mean. It's just the weirdest damn thing. A Friday, I was like, it's just, I didn't expect to say goodbye to my boy. Yeah, I just wanted to share that with you. And Biggie, I love you, my little fat sausage. Our house will never be the same. And say goodbye to Dexter, okay? And say hi to him for me. And tell him I miss him too. We'll be right back.